grateful. It's about noticing all the goodness and all the love that already is in your relationship and also in your life at large. That's the topic of today's lesson. And there is a ton of evidence and research about how positively impactful having a gratefulness practice is in people's overall level of happiness, access of joy, access of contentment and peacefulness. So I'm not going to go into the research. You can find this for yourself, but there is a lot of evidence there. The interesting part about gratefulness, or people who are usually happy, is that they practice gratefulness. For them, it's an action. It's something that they do, whether they do it consciously or less consciously, because they've integrated as a habit, if you will, in their lives. Maybe they have some little rituals, and or maybe they were born in a family that was practicing gratefulness and they didn't even know the term, and it's just the way that the gratefulness is being weaved into their lives through words, through actions. And so for people who have a good access and practice of gratefulness, they are better able to face adversity with more resilience. And so that doesn't mean, so having a gratefulness practice doesn't mean that your life is going to be all rosy, you're not going to have any challenges, it's going to be smooth sailing for you. No, but it means that you are more resourceful and your perception is altered in a way that you can see the silver lining, in a way that your perception of people, life situations, or yourselves is more empowering and more joyful and more serene at the same time. Being grateful, besides being a practice, is also a way to tap into this idea of sufficiency. Having enough, being enough, recognizing the goodness of a moment, the goodness of a person, the goodness of an object or a thing or person, if you will. So some cultures are particularly good at being grateful, seeing the glass half full. I know that in my local community, I see a lot of people who practice this, and they are more lightweight and joyful and able to access humor and resourcefulness a lot. And I see other cultures, and I'm not familiar with all cultures, but the culture that I'm from, France, has a tendency to see the problems as opposed to what's already going right. So not taking things for granted is really something that I've had to learn, coming from a background whereby the glass was half empty. And I'll share with you some gratefulness practices to give you some inspiration there. You may have some of your own, so keep on doing that. And I have a quote from Meister Eckhart. He was a philosopher and a theologian and mystic from the Middle Ages. And he wrote, "If the only prayer you say in your entire life is thank you, it will be enough." So thank you. That's all it means, to say thank you, to feel thank you. It could be thank you for the farmer who grew your food at the dinner table. It could be thank you to your husband for cooking. It could be thank you for the sun and the elements that allowed the food to be grown. It could be thank you to yourself, maybe for making a certain effort, or for for putting a smile on somebody's face, or just from having the courage to wake up in the morning if you are in a very downward spiral kind of situation. So it could be whatever form of courage, whatever form of goodness you are able to perceive. And it's more this change of perception that opens up opportunities, resourcefulness, and also attracts much better things into one's life. So here are some practices of gratefulness in my home every night before going to bed. We do this as a family, and we lie down in bed with our son and turn the light off, and we say all the things that we're grateful for one at a time. And we call this attitude of gratitude. And sometimes when I don't feel in the mood because maybe my evening was a little bit too overwhelming, maybe I've had too many things to juggle, I don't feel in the mood for saying what I'm grateful for. But sure enough, my 4-year-old would be, hey, mommy and daddy, let's practice attitude of gratitude. Mommy, you start. And here I go, being pushed a little bit by my toddler. And it's a good thing, because after practicing gratefulness, then I usually feel a lot better. That's the beauty of this. You can have access to good feelings just by connected in a heartfelt way with the goodness of life. Another practice we have is before eating a meal, we use this Japanese practice because my husband's family is of Japanese origin, so I kind of adopted this Japanese practice, and the whole family does. And it's to put your hands like this and to say itadakimasu before having a meal. And I didn't really know what it meant, but I understood it meant, thank you for this meal, thank you for the food, thank you for the person who prepared the food, thank you for having food in the first place to eat. And when I researched it, it actually means I humbly receive. And it's very beautiful. It's very beautiful. If your hands are open, you are more able to receive. And you're receiving humbly, because sometimes there is very little effort or no effort at all for you to receive countless blessings. And so if you close your hands, you're not in a position to receive. You may be in a position to fight, but you're not in a position to accept humbly whatever the universe, nature, life at large allows you to have, including one's life. I think these are the two most important practices we have. One practice that my son absolutely loves, and I discovered this practice recently, I think it was on a TED Talk, and this gentleman was sharing, for a fast gratefulness practice, you can talk about a rose, a thorn, and a bud. The first rose is one thing you're grateful for, that happened during the day, or a person in your life, or whatever. The second one is also something good that you can recognize and want to share. The thorn is something that did not go very well for you, a challenge, whether it's internal or situational, environmental, relational. And that's one way to express also what's truly going on in our day-to-day life. And the last one is very beautiful. It's the bud. It's about the hope you have for the next day, or for a situation to turn into. So here you go. The practice is called rose, rose, thorn, bud, and it's really fast to practice. And it can get your entire family and also, of course, your partner to communicate and to know what's really going on for the both of you and all your children as well. And if you're not too sure what to be thankful for, you can say, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And you can repeat just that, and that would be enough. I have a friend, he's actually been taught a lot by the local Native Americans as in their medicinal and shamanic practices. And his only little prayer, if you will, or gratefulness practice, the one that he uses over and over again, is love. And so he repeats this word, love, a lot, every day. And so it goes like this, love, 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 lovely love, 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 love. Whatever feels right for you to express out loud to your partner, go ahead and do that. And you can write it down too if you want this to be more of a sacred space, personal space. You can write it down in a gratefulness journal. I personally prefer to share it because it's infectious and it in the best possible way, of course, and it influences other people's perceptions too. So there you go. In your workbook there is an exercise for you. So let's look at it. The question is simple. What am I grateful for with my partner, or about my relationship? What has worked well for me and between us today? And so I would highly encourage you to think about at least 5 things that you're grateful for on a daily basis. If you're not used to thinking this way, this is going to seem like a lot. But when you really think about it, there's so many things to be grateful for. From the water you drink from the tap to being able to have a nice, comfortable, cozy bed, to to your partner, maybe paying the property tax, or going to work early in the morning, or giving you a kiss, or giving you a little compliment. Whatever it is, just notice these little things. So there you go. 5 things that you're grateful for on a daily basis. And they can include not only things that happened around you and through other people. It can also be things that you're grateful for about yourself. I will see you on the next video.